The COVID-19 podcast series on Asake Online. COVID-19 podcast series on Asake Online. You are listening to the COVID-19 podcast series brought to you by Asake Online.
Hi listeners, my name is Gracious Nyathi and welcome to our Asake podcast series. Our focus is on human rights abuse, corruption, bringing new perspectives to issues and challenges faced by communities during the lockdown, as well as COVID-19 related developments. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about accommodation challenges faced by students. So here goes. Students are made to pay insane amounts for rooms which they share in 2s, 3s, or even 4s, and particularly in Selborne Park. The rooms range mostly from 40 to 65 and at times $70. So, come to think of it, all that money for a small, tiny, whiny corner in a room, which social distancing is inobservable. In most houses, they're denied Wi-Fi and they have to incur the costs of buying their own data. Some landlords physically manhandle the students when they have misunderstandings, while some are kicked out of their lodgings in the middle of the night. Okay, so I am not saying that the students will be right. They're not angels, sacrosaints, perfect, goody two-shoes, or whatever. But do we really have to use violence? I mean, even if one is wrong, the law does not allow you to lay a hand on them. And what would be so bad that you cannot talk over and solve without getting violent? And would you be okay if your own child was kicked out into the night? And crime is on the rise in Bulawayo. Armed robberies have become so frequent. Think of what the poor child is being exposed to. Rapists, robbers, bad weather, that chill of the night. What if that student has nowhere to sleep? Imagine the horror. It has suddenly become so easy for students to become homeless. Some come back from the holidays to find their places occupied. And when we move into those houses, right? The student accommodations, we are made to pay deposits that are equivalent to rent to secure a place. So when your rent is $50, when you move in, you pay $100, only to come in the following semester and find someone in your room, and ironically, they say it's not their problem. So you have to find yourself a new home, God knows wherever and whenever, even if it is at the back of beyond, they don't really care. So I will bring in fellow students so that they tell you and you hear how real and existent this situation is.
As a student who's staying in Selborne, we're facing a lot of problems. The first one being we're staying in rooms, maybe rooms of 4s or 3s, and we have to pay rent like per head. For instance, you'll be paying maybe $65 for a room for 4, without a bathroom, without a toilet. Then you have to clean the bathroom on your own. Also, you have to share the room. There's no social distancing in there. You just live as if there's no corona or anything. The other issues of the landlords being unreasonable. They're no longer nice, they're just rude to us because they know that we don't have anywhere to go when we leave their places, since accommodation is now scarce due to COVID reasons. And also, we're coming to school, a lot of us are coming to school at the same time, so accommodation becomes an issue. The other problem is that the places are not even clean. There will be a lot of grass outside, and it's just a mess. Also, even the kitchens, for instance, the kitchens may have 3 4-plate stoves. then maybe only 2 flats will be functioning well. The other 2 depends on the day. If it's a good day, they'll work. Then on a bad day, you'll be left with 2 flats, 2 working flats, and there's maybe around more than 20 of you, around 30 maybe. Then you have to share those 2 flats. The whole of the 30 people sharing 2 flats, and considering the electricity situation, it means that maybe 5 people can prepare their food. The rest of us would have to make a plan. That means that more expenses on top of the expensive rent, exorbitant prices that you're already paying for the rent. The other issue is of the landlords again. They are being we were meant to pay for storage of our staff, right? But then when you come back, there will be a lot of missing things. For instance, when I went home during the lockdown, my drawing board, when I came back, it was missing. I lost my calculators, my engineering set, a lot of stuff which was needed for my education, for my academics, it was missing. Some of my notebooks were missing, and I'd have to I had to use them the next semester, but then I had nothing. Some of my clothes were missing as well, but the landlord just said that it's not his fault. He had kept the staff safe, of which the staff was just in a room which was not even locked. The rooms were not even locked, meaning that anyone could access them. Then the other issue that we're mixed with the community. That is, we're staying with families, maybe a family of 5, and you have to share all the little facilities.
Nowadays, right, landlords are no longer they're no longer playing their roles as landlords. What they are just looking for is money, and they're just they're comfortable with increasing rent each and every time. They don't even mind or give you a heads up. They'll just wake up one day and be like, rent is now $70 out of the blue, and then when you came, you would have agreed that rent is made, let's say $50, and then they just wake up one day and they expect you to pay large sums of money. And even if you are having a problem or something, they don't even put that into consideration. What they just want is their money. Even if you try to say, my parents are having challenges getting this, they don't even listen to that. All they want is their money. And if you fail to do that, then you have to leave, and they don't even care where you'll be going. So that's pretty much a very big thing that we are facing. And then some of them also they want money so much that they don't even care. They can just wake up and say move out. There's this thing whereby people pay deposits, right, when they are new, and then they're coming in, they pay deposit. And then if you're there, if you stay there already, you don't have to be paying deposit every month. So they want those new people to be coming regularly, and then you, who would have stayed there for months, they'll just chase you away you have done something wrong or something, without even having a reason. They'll just wake up and be like, okay, so this month you're moving out, so you have to start again looking for accommodation and all that, which is very...
I am a Part 4 student at NAS, and I'm renting Sokon Park. As students, well, personally, I would say from my perspective, we face so many challenges. For example, at times there's this cuts, there's power cuts in the middle of the night. Then you want to read for an in-class or an exam, but you can't. And even if you're to ask your landlord or a landlady, she won't even respond immediately, probably a day or 2 days later. And also the issue of Wi-Fi. We are paying $50, and they'll tell you it includes Wi-Fi, but when you get to Sokon Park, there's no Wi-Fi at home. And then being students, you're supposed to research, and you need data, and you need to be at home, but we can't be at home. We'd rather spend time at school because we want to use Wi-Fi. Another thing is security. We've had a case whereby things that get stolen, especially meat. So even if you are to ask the landlord, landlady, his response is just rude. And obviously she'll be like,
maybe it's one of your housemates or roommates. And another thing is the bed's not even comfortable. With the amount that we pay, we're supposed to get something better, but to get to my bed, that like to my job, some personal belongings, you can miss your things, and then even if you were to ask the landlady, she will tell you she's not responsible for your stuff, and she'll blame it on her housemates. So I feel like we need more security as students, because I can't be walking with my laptop every day to school, and I need to feel at home, but we don't feel at home, and they treat us like my lodges, but we're also students and we're here to learn. So I think there has to be a board or something that represents students and our queries, because we don't have anyone who represents us. When you're house hunting, they're all nice on WhatsApp and phone calls, but when you get to the place, they're so rough and tough. So I think we need somebody who represents us. Even if we like select a board from ETNAS, then they can represent us and they can go around but you view my houses where students stay, because a lot goes on. So I am not happy with the landlord issue. So I just think it's better we help even though the little ones that are coming through. Thank you.
So there you have it. The life of a student. Not so rosy, huh? Nothing like grownish, huh? So for issues like this and so much more, please follow our pages on social media. We are CITE.ZW on Instagram and Twitter, CITE on Facebook, and if you want to know more about us, our website is cite.org.zw. Thank you so much for your time. Till next time.